little inside.
Wanna stand so I can take a video of you?
I
Wait, before I start the video, I realized that I never showed the finished stage of my last video's painting. So, shall we? Da-da-da-da. I'm very stoked about this one. It's one of those paintings that no matter how many years pass and how much I improve, I'm still gonna look very fondly at. I don't know, I just think it turned out very lovely and I'm very happy with it. So far, this is the only worthy of keeping painting that I did this year, and it's been a month and a half. And perhaps I was thinking of having a couple of more by now, but you know what? If there can only be one painting by now, I'm happy it's this one. And now, back to the video. I'm reading Alice Neal's biography, The Art of Not Sitting Pretty, by Phoebe Hoban. And this is actually the second try that I'm giving this book. The first, I bought it in last summer. I bought it on Amazon because you just couldn't get it anywhere else for 25 euros. So expensive for a book. But I was desperate to learn something more about her, and there are surprisingly no biographies out there on her life, at least that I can get my hands on. So I got it and I started reading it, and I was hating so much. There's something about the book, I guess there's just like too much information, and let me show you my favorite example of it, because now that I'm rereading it, I found it again. The marriage certificate dated June 1st, 1925 states that Carlos Enriquez de Gomez and Alice H. Neal were wed by Elisha Safford, a minister of the gospel in Darby, Pennsylvania, in accordance with the license issued by the clerk of the Orphans Court in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. Is this a KGB file? Why is this information relevant to someone's biography, to a painter's biography? If I'm not wrong, Alice Neal was investigated by the FBI for being affiliated with the Communist Party, and I'm pretty sure they have exactly the same paragraph in one of their files. So when I read it, I was just, I can't read this book. It's taken me so long, and it's one of my favorite painters, which will be such a breeze to read. So I returned it, and then a couple of weeks later I kind of regretted it because, as I said, there's just no other books that I can find on her. So I thought, screw it, I'll just buy it again and I'll do my best to just power through it. And to my surprise, the book was on sale for only 5 euros. So I thought, I'm gonna get it, because for that price, even if I don't like the book, it's a pretty one to see it on your coffee table or on your shelves. And when it arrived, I swear it's the same book that I returned, because it had one of the pages bented exactly where I did. And I've read that when you return Amazon books, they go to the storage, and because they can't resell them, they go on sale. So maybe that's happened. I don't know, but I'm glad it did. So I'm reading it through it again. I'm now in 1928, so Alice is about to hit her 30s. I can't wait to get to her 50s and 60s. Her favorite paintings, for me, my favorite paintings by her, are from the 70s decade, so when she was 70. So I can't wait to get to those parts. And I have to say, it does get better. It does get better through the book. Maybe I'm getting used to the writing, but it is now much easier to read and just much more fun. I got this Faber-Castell pencil case of 6 pencils because I'm always losing them. I always buy like 4 of them, end up losing all of them except for the HB one. And then when I go to draw, because I can't get those darker, deeper shadows, I always give up. Although to be fair, I'm probably just using it as an excuse to not draw. But anyway, so I've been drawing a little bit, and the other day, like when I got this pencil case, I started looking for my eraser, because I'm always losing that goddamn thing. Even though I have specific places to where I leave all of my erasers, always losing them, always gone. But anyway, while I was looking for it, I rediscovered my drawer of abandoned paintings, and there were so many of them. And To be fair, some of them were like very bad that I wouldn't even continue it, but most of them I worked like maybe just 2 hours on them. Some of them were nearly finished, but the ones that weren't, there were like some of them that are just, I just had such a great start, but for whatever reason I parked them aside and never touched them again. And usually I wouldn't mind that. I'm constantly starting paintings and then not finishing them. But it was just so many of them that it really infuriated me with myself. So I don't know, like, what is it that I have to change in my wiring so I actually commit to the paintings that I start. One of my theories is that maybe I just need to do initial sketches on paper, have a better grasp of the idea what I want. Am I repeating myself? Haven't I talked about this like a bazillion times already? I don't know. But anyway, I have one small square canvas. I think it's like 40 by 40 centimeters. So I'm gonna sketch something tonight so I can paint it tomorrow. So wish me luck. Wait. Good morning. I have my next painting. I was looking for inspiration, but also like wasting time on Instagram, and it recommended me this post of this, I think, French photographer who documented gypsy life in Barcelona in, I think, 50s, 60s, and the post features some pictures of this flamenco dancer that looked very cool. And I thought, how fun would it be to have a kitschy painting of flamenco dancer hanging in the living room? I think it will be very. So I sketched this. Happy enough. I wish I could fit more of the dress, but just my canvas isn't big enough. I won't have time to paint the whole painting for this video, so I'm going to focus on all the skin, heads and arms. But first I need to sketch it, so let's do that. So I've managed to fit as much of the figure as I sketched, which is great, and I'm happy with that. My only issue is that in order to do so, I had to make the figure very small, and the head is the size of my hand, and I haven't painted such small heads in a long time. I don't like painting small heads. I like when they're almost as big as and as close as to real life in size. But I just really wanted to fit the dress, so I'm going with it. I'm sure I can do it. And the reason that I haven't posted anything in the last 2 weeks is because I have started and abandoned 2 paintings. I was so frustrated with them because I had such big expectations, but it just turned out shit. And for this week, I actually thought, what if I just, what I don't make a small painting, maybe even a still life? And I did started sketching a watermelon of all things. But then I don't know. I am so drawn to painting people and figures that I thought, let's just have one last chance. I still have one canvas already prepped to be painted, so let's try it. Let's do it. And this is the result, and I'm so happy that I did. It's funny because I remember when I just started being interested in painting art, I remember thinking how boring portraiture is. I guess I was much in still life, and I think it's just I haven't discovered yet good contemporary portrait artists, because now I think that portraiture is so exciting and I'm so happy being a portraiture artist. And as you can see, I did change the position of the arm. I actually erased it and repainted a couple of different times, trying different positions. I'll go into why I picked this one in a bit, and I'm super happy that I did. I've noticed that it's becoming more important for me to not stick to my original idea, even if it's been already sketched into the canvas. Because a lot of time, once I start painting, I realize that there is a little bit more adventurous way to do a portrait. This is now day 2. So as you can see, I changed one of the arms. My initial, I didn't like how the framing was working with the hand just reposing in the armchair. It made so much unused feeling of space in this part of the canvas. My initial idea was to put both of the arms on the armchair, but then I realized that if I keep this one down, it creates this natural flow kind of like away from upper side of the canvas to the back, to the lower part. Like once it's finished, I think your eye will naturally go through from face to the dress and back to the head. And as well, all of this space now, once I cover it with some colors, it'll look more natural. I don't think it will feel as forced or unused as it would have been before. My plan was today to finish the face in the arms, but the face is dry enough. There is some resistance when you skim your finger through it, but the arms are quite sticky and they do leave residue. So I don't know if I should leave it like that until tomorrow so it dries. But then that means that I have to finish the video here and I won't be able to show you the finished state of the face. Or maybe try and paint, but it's just I don't think I want to risk it. So perhaps this is going to be a goodbye for this week. And we'll continue it next one. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So thank you for watching and join me on continue painting this portrait next week. Bye.